So as we know, SAP is an business application. Business means what? You do have the purchase activity, you do have the sales activity, you do have the financial activity, then is a manufacturing, logistic, so on. More than 26 plus business available in the market. By keeping those activity in mind, by keeping those activity in place, SAP has designed their tool. So SAP is an software or the tool which will be helpful for you to run your business. That will help to run your business. I'm not saying that after the SAP the business comes to picture. No, before the SAP there was a business. And by keeping those business activity in mind, SAP has come up with that tool. And specifically, we are working on the ABAP part, right? Even if I abbreviate that ABAP, the ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. It means we are going to develop the programming, we are going to write the programming to develop the application, and that application is based out of business activity. So in SAP, if you are doing any kind of development, then it's mandatory to have the minimal business knowledge, business process knowledge. I'm not saying that you should have the deep business knowledge process. No, we do have the separate functional consultant for that. But as an ABAPer, our job is to do the development. But the gathering of the requirement and helping you to understand the requirement, it is a job of functional. But still, you should also have the minimum knowledge. If you wanted to do something nowadays, we know we never go blindly. We also do some try to search in internet ourselves, right? That is a part of analysis to get the knowledge of that. Similarly, if you want to do any development, that development always based out of business. And of course, if you want to do the development, you should have the minimal, I'm not saying that in deep, minimal knowledge. Minimal knowledge means what? And most commonly used business process in real time is like purchase, sales, finance, manufacturing, and the HR. These are the commonly or randomly used six business process. So now what we do is business process is common. So just leave about the SAP. Business activity, business process are common. By keeping those business activity, SAP has developed the tool. Like as I discussed in the first class only, whenever we take any business process, suppose for example purchase, maybe purchase is a single word for me, but if you go into that purchase department, you can find many hierarchy level. And if you want to progress with that each hierarchy level, SAP has provided the application. Now for example, if I want to create the purchase order, how to do? In our personal life, we will place the order orally, but in business wise, we never place the order orally. We need some application because we wanted to save that data for the future reference. And of course, business process is standard. And by keeping those business activity in mind, SAP has already provided many standard application. And if you process the data through those application, the data will be stored in respective database table. And to understand those application and the tables and the relationship, we should have the business knowledge, minimal business knowledge. And today, to understand what are the set of database table provided by the SAP, what are the set of applications provided by the SAP, and to understand the relationship between those table, we are going to discuss the business process. So we are about to discuss around 5 to 6 business process. We will go one by one, not all together, but topic wise. So today we go with the first business process, or you can say business flow. So we go with MM, material, management. So material management is one of the business process or business model we can say provided by the SAP. So this model is specially for purchase. It's going to handle all purchase related activity or purchase related stuff. Now, before we go with the real time level, let's take a example in ourselves. See, if you want to see any of the business activity, doesn't mean that you need to go visit any shopping complex or somewhere. No, in your day-to-day routine also you can find the business activity. How? Now suppose your day start with the tea or the coffee, and for that you need the milk, you need the tea powder, you need the sugar, right? Now, of course, to purchase these things, you need to visit the shop. Now, the question is when we are going to visit the shop? Only when if we need something. Need something means wish list. Like you are surfing the Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Zepto, Blinkit. These are the nowadays e-commerce site. No one visiting the shop physically nowadays, most of the time. If it is a very urgent, we can quickly access this site. They will deliver the goods to your doorstep immediately. Nowadays, they are having the challenges. They are going to deliver the things in 10 minutes, 30 minutes, likewise. Even though we go physically, will take the same time, right? Maybe that will save your time. So we will visit those sites, we will visit the shop only when if we need something that is a part of wish list, right? We will go first, we are going to decide what we needed for ourselves. Then we go to the shop, we will inquire about the product. Based on the inquiry, if everything goes well, then you are going to place the order. Then you are going to make a payment and you need to collect the product which you have ordered. Then you need to come back to your home. This is what we are going to do in real time, and this is what nothing but the purchase activity. See, if I take any purchase is a single word for me, but if you go into that, you will be having the many hierarchy level. So my question is, what you will purchase the things only when if you need it. Now, how to relate it with the real time means business level. So that we do, like, concept is remain same, but the wordings are different. As I told about the wish list, right? We were going to make a list of those products which you wanted to buy in a future or maybe in the present situation. So that list we can call it as a purchasing requisition. Purchase, right? Now, whenever you are making a list, like what you needed, maybe for yourself, maybe for the organization which you are working for, maybe in your family. Now, do you think, like, suppose in my schooling days, in my college days, right, in my academy days, maybe I'm in self independent, I'm earning myself. Still, are you going to take a decision yourself? No, even though you're self independent, you will take a permission from your parents. Like, this is the things which I need, and I want to buy this one. At least, maybe or may not be, they're going to sponsor for you, but still, you need to take a permission. That is our culture, right? So that is what. So what you needed, that is a part of purchase requisition. Let's suppose you have done your schooling. Now you're about to enter with your 10 plus 2 HSC, I can say, higher education. Nowadays, mobile is a very mandatory things. Maybe you need a bicycle. Maybe you need a bike to travel to the office. Maybe, sorry, college, I can say. It is because of long distance. Maybe you need a laptop nowadays, right? Then what you can do? You can demand with your parents. Of course, that is our, like, ethics wise. Like, I can say we are going to demand, we are going to request. You can say anything. See, you can demand only those things, you can request for only those things which you needed. So simply doesn't mean that I do have a lot of money, I can purchase anything. That is not going to be happen at all. Suppose if you're working for any organization, suppose you have joined the new organization, does it mean you're going to purchase a laptop for yourself? No. That is a job of that organization to make here the laptop available for you, right? This is what. So what you needed, maybe for yourself or maybe for the department, that is a part of requisition. In short, we can say the wish list. Suppose you want to purchase a mobile phone, later you need to a bike, maybe then you need the laptop or something else. So you need to take a permission, you need to convince to your parents. So of course, parents will be allowed only when if it is a proper justification. They even don't want to give simply anything which you want, right? And again, in that you do have the bargaining. Suppose you're looking for the iPhone 16. Do you think they are going to agree and they are going to make you available of iPhone 16? No. Only they will make you available what you needed presently, right? Now you need to convince a lot of them, and then if they get agree, then they will ask you to, like, go and check at the shop level, do the inquiry about the product and check it where it is available. Then we come back, we will go together and we will purchase it for you. This is how it's going to be happen, right? Suppose if you want to purchase a two-wheeler or maybe four-wheeler, Does it mean something you will go to the showroom or the shop, take this money, give me the mobile or give me the vehicle? It is not going to be happen. It is a lengthy process. You need to visit the showroom. You need to verify. You need to analyze the vehicle which you want to purchase, or maybe you need to inquire properly, right? So that inquiry is something verbally, and sometimes they will provide in the written. Now suppose they are saying that the vehicle price is 10 lakh rupees. How come 10 lakh? We need the proper justification, right? I- is it completely 10 lakh for that vehicle, or it includes some everything, the different stuffs, like there will be ex showroom price, there will be accessories, there will be RTO, there will be insurance, many things. So that breakup is nothing but you can call as a quotation. So enquiry which we are going to do verbally, or sometimes enquiry will be done in the written. So that written is nothing but the quotation. Normally, if you want to purchase a pen, you'd never go to the shop and you say that take this money and give me the mobile. Sorry, give me the pen. No, nothing is going to be happen. First, you are going to do the inquiry. I need a pen, so and so. Do you have that one? If he say yes, you're going to ask about pricing. He discussed about the pricing. Then you can ask them like, I need this much of quantity. Do you have any discount? Something like this is what we are going to do in real time, right? So that is what. So whenever you need something, you need to take approval. If you're working for any organization, you need to take approval from the respective manager, senior manager, whatever may be. But if you are like in within your family, if you want to do something, of course you need to take a permission from your parents. So that is a part of your. It will go to the purchase department, head of the family, purchase department. Now what purchase department will do? Now it's a job of this purchase department, whatever the goods or whatever the stuffs you need it for yourself, maybe for department, to make it available for you. It's a job of purchase department. Now what the purchase department will do, they will request for the quotation for the different vendor. Now they will say that, oh, we need this product, do you have this one? If yes, what is the pricing of that? If they're okay, then when you are going to deliver the things, so on. Suppose if you want to construct a 10-kilometer of road, do you think government simply pick that project and hand over it to some of the contractor? No, they will open the bid, right? And then maybe you can sometimes find in the newspaper also. So we do have this open contract. Anybody, if you're willing to join, or if you want to make a participate in that, you need to provide your quotation. Now the respective contractor will provide the quotation like, for this 10-kilometer we will do in this budget, this is the timeline, this will be our quality, this will be the warranty we can provide, so and so. Even though suppose if you want to purchase a laptop or mobile for anything, do you think like you are going to visit only one showroom, one shop? No. Now you, wherever you can go, you'll get the same product. Then why you are visiting the multiple shop? Maybe the different concession. There are many things matter, right? Now suppose same thing you can find in the Amazon, same thing you can find in the Flipkart. Why you are checking in both? Maybe offer, concession, warranty, delivery timeline. Many things matter, right? So when we request, the each vendor will prepare their own quotation. Each vendor will prepare the quotation, maybe more than that, right? We are going to request the quotation. Now vendor will prepare the quotation. It's a job of vendor to prepare the quotation, right? Once after prepare the quotation, that quotation will comes to your purchase department. Of course, they will send the quotation to the department. Now it's a job of purchase department to analyze the quotation submitted by the different vendor. They will analyze the quotation submitted by the different vendor. So it's a job of purchase department to analyze the vendor, and based on that they are going to finalize one of the best vendor, and they are going to place the order. I can say they are going to place the order. Now let's assume you have finalized the vendor 1. Let's assume you have finalized the vendor 1. So you have decided to purchase the things from vendor 1, right? Like if you want to purchase a mobile phone, you will check the pricing in Amazon, you will check the pricing in Flipkart, you will go to the Chroma, you will go to the Reliance, maybe you can go with the UNI outlet where it is especially for the unicorn, I can say, especially for the iPhone. You will compare the pricing all where. That is a part of vendor. Keep visiting the shopkeeper, that is a part of vendor, right? Now for example, let's take like within your family. Now of course, especially for myself, I belongs to a middle class family. Now what we supposed to do, whatever the stuffs we needed for the kitchen room, we are going to purchase in bulk, because we don't want to go every day wanted to visit the same shop again and again, because we do have the different stuffs which we need to manage. So we wanted to do it for only once in a month. So what we do, of course, maybe the kitchen room belongs to mom. She is going to prepare the list with the help of, maybe sometimes we going to help ourselves, maybe sometimes by younger or older sister or brother something. Now what mom is going to do? She is going to check each stock. What is the stock of sugar? What is the stock of tea powder? Then rice, so and so. In parallel, she is checking the stock and she is making like she is calling the item one by one. Now, of course, who is going to help the mom to prepare the list? Maybe yourself, maybe any of the your sibling. Then they are going to write on it. How they are going to write it down? By using the pen and the paper. So mom is going to call like sugar 5 kg, tea powder 5 kg or 1 or 2 kg, make oil, the rice, so on. You're going to make a list of that, right? Meanwhile, mom is checking the stock as well, because that should be run again for the next 1 month, right? So once the list has been prepared, that list is nothing but your purchase requisition, what you needed for yourself or maybe for your department. Next, this whatever the list you have done, that list is going to be approved by certain department. Now who is your head of the family? Maybe older brother, or maybe mom itself, or parents, whoever may be. Now like if I want to purchase something in wholesale, where I should go, and if I want to purchase something in retail, where should I go? Do you think, like, of course, near to where you're staying, near to your society, there will be a provision shop? And suppose if I want to purchase a milk, do you think I need to go to the big shopping complex like DMart or the Big Bazaar? Definitely no. We will go with the DMart or the Big Bazaar only when if you want to purchase something in bulk. That will make a sense because we will get some in lower price. But if you want to purchase something in return, we prefer to go to the nearby shopkeeper. But if you want to purchase something in wholesale, then makes sense to go with the big shopping complex. Then that is a part of request of quotation. In the small shop, in the retail shop, what will be the pricing? If I go with the outlet, what will be the pricing? That is a part of doing the inquiry, getting the things in return. Like when you visit the shop, you will ask them, do you have the sugar? If he says yes, then you're going to ask the pricing. Then you're going to say that no, we need the in bulk quantity. What will be the pricing? Of course, he will say that you can go with the small quantity or the large quantity. The pricing will be remain same. Then you will visit the next shop. Again, you will inquire the same thing. Now, whatever the inquiry you are doing that inquiry in the verbally. Sometimes the same inquiry you're going to take in a written format. Now, what do you think? Like whatever this communication is going to be happen, are we going to do with verbally or with the pen and the paper? Maybe in your personal life, but if you go with the industry level, the pen and the paper is not going to help you out. We need some application to process the data because data is very important for us. So for that reason, SAP has developed the application. Actually, this process is common. Wherever you can go, this process is common. But by keeping this process or the activity in mind, SAP has developed the tool, right? And we develop the tool, develop the application, and whenever you process the data through that application, the data will be stored in respective tables. And to understand those tables and the relationship, we are going with this business process, right? Now you have finalized the order after visiting the multiple shop, after doing the inquiry in the multiple shop, you have finalized, like, let's purchase from him. Then you are going to place the order to the vendor one. Now you are placing the order to vendor one. Now it's a job of vendor one to pick all the material and pack it for you. I can say picking, packing, it's a job of your vendor. That's not your job. Whenever you place the order in Flipkart or Amazon, once you place the order, now you need to sit back and relax. Once that delivery boy comes to your doorstep to deliver the goods, you need to receive the goods. I can say goods receive. So once he receive the goods or you receive the goods receipt number is going to be generated. Like, I have successfully delivered the goods or I have successfully received the goods. Then he's supposed to submit you the billing or the invoice, and you are going to verify. Of course, they are going to set the bill, they are going to submit the invoice, and you need to verify, you need to make a payment. And doing the payment is a part of FI department. Of course, you are not going to pay the bill. That is the job of your FI department. And this is your complete process. This is what we are going to do in real time, right? Now, if you look at this process, now there are three business process come to picture. One, as a customer, we are purchasing something. Against your order, it's a job of that shopkeeper to sell the goods. So purchase is being connected to your sales, and after purchase or after sales, you need to make a payment or you need to receive the payment. Then finance model come to picture. So generally, just leave about the SAP, I'm talking about in general. No business process can run independently. They are connected to each other. They are integrated to each other. We have started with the purchase. In the middle, we have connected to the sales and ending with the finance. So all the business process are integrated to each other. But in real time, definitely when you go for the interview, they will ask you the business process. Can you help me to understand the steps in the purchase? Can you please help me to understand the steps in the sales? Finance, these are the 5 to 6 commonly used model. So if they ask in the interview, can you go with the business process of purchase, then if you are explaining in detail, that's fine, but no need to go in this detail. There are 5 important steps which you need to recall. Very first, we are going to create the purchase requisition. You can say brief flow. You can just call them these 5. Very first, we are going to create the purchase requisition, like what you needed for yourself or department. And based on that, we are requesting the quotation for the different vendor. Vendor nothing but your shopkeeper. Based on that, you are going to finalize the order, and then once that delivery boy comes to your goods doorstep to deliver the goods, then we are going to receive the goods, and then he is going to submit you the invoice copy. You are going to verify. It's a part of invoice verification, and then you are going to make a payment. That's a part of account payable. So once you've done the payment, the transaction ID is going to be generated. That is a part of accounting document number. And this is a part of your finance. Simply say 5 steps: purchase requisition, request for quotation, purchase order, goods issue, and the invoice verification. These are the 5 hierarchy within the purchase. Now, as I discussed the example of like in the home, like if you want to purchase something for your kitchen room, mom is going to prepare the list. How did she prepare the list? With the help of pen and the paper. Do you think the pen and the paper is going to help out in the real time? No, because whatever the data we are processing, that data we need for the longer time in the future. Longer time in the future. Like whatever the chart you are doing in the WhatsApp, of course that chart history will be there, remains until you are going to delete it explicitly. Yes, and of course that data is being saved somewhere in the database. That's the reason we can able to say that history. If that history is not being saved, then how can you see the data? Right? Same way, whatever the data we are processing in real time, that data we need for the longer time in the future. So for that, SAP has designed the application and he has provided the set of database table. So whenever you process the data via that application, the data will be stored in respective database table. And that is what we are about to discuss. What are the set of tables and T codes provided by the SAP? I can say T code and tables. So process wise, very first, purchase requisition. Now let's assume I want to create the purchase requisition. How to create? Of course, SAP has provided the application. And SAP has provided the shortcut code, nothing but the transaction code to execute a specific application and open the corresponding screen. So, ABAP editor, data dictionary, these are the application. And to run this application, SAP has provided the shortcut code called T code like SE11, SE38. Similarly, to run this application, SAP has provided the shortcut code, or we can say T code. Now, to open this purchase requisition, SAP has provided the T code to run the application, and the T code name is ME51N, ME52N, ME53N. Now you can ask me why 33 T code. SAP has provided the options, three different option for each application. Whenever you go to the data dictionary app, whenever you go to the ABAP editor, suppose if I go with the data dictionary, SC11, can you see the three different button? Create, change, and display. Even though if I go with the SC38 program screen, there also you can find the three buttons: create, change, display. So three application, one for creating the purchase requisition, this is for create, one is for change, and one is for, now you can ask me what is the difference. Very first you are preparing the list, like mom is going to recall the product item name one by one. You are going to make a note of that one by one, and suddenly everything is done and mom is saying she suddenly got realized something and she is saying that, oh, I missed one of the product, can you please note down that one? Means you're doing the changes in existing. Does it think like do you are going to take another pen and the paper? No, right? You are going to write it down in the same only. That is what changing in the existing. ME52N. And once you prepared, mom is going to say that can you repeat everything product which you have written? So I want to be make sure that you're going to call the product one by one, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10, whatever that you have written. That is a part of display. Preview. Before we do something, we are going to make a confirmation ourselves. That is something like display. Now, whenever we process the data these via these application, the data will be stored in respective database table. And the table is EBAN, EBAN. EBAN, EBAN table. So similarly, request for quotation. Request for quotation. The transaction code is ME41, ME42, ME43. Again, create, change, display. Now you can ask me who is processing the data. The data will be processed by the end user, not our job. Then you can ask me why we are discussing. See, we must know the business process. Based on the business process, what are the T codes and the table provided by the SAP, we need to understand and we should know. And to that reason, we are discussing with this. Okay. Now suddenly if I ask you, can you check the table for the purchase order? Do you know what other tables are being used for the purchase order? No, right? So we need to understand. Now here, once we process the data in this application, the data will be stored in respective database table. And the table is EKKO and the EKPO. The third one comes with purchase order. And for the purchase order, the application is ME21N, ME22N, and the ME23N. This is for create, change, and display. And once we process the data will be stored in two different tables. Request for quotation and the purchase order tables are common, like EKKO, so this is a part of purchase order header, EKPO, purchase order item. So one of them, the header data will be stored, and one of them, the item data will be stored. Now you can ask me what is the meaning of header and the item. I will let you know after this. Okay. Similarly, the fourth one is goods issue. Sorry, goods receive. To perform the goods receive, SAP has provided the transaction code called MIGO. MIGO. This is MIGO. MIGO. MIGO transaction. And whenever we process the data with this, the data will be stored in the table called MKPF. Material document header and the material document item. Next comes with invoice. So the T code for the invoice verification is MIGO and the MIRO. And the table are RBKP, header, invoice, document item. Right? So, discussing with these tables, T codes are something like formulas in SAP. In the physics, chemistry, mathematics, we do have the important formula, and we are going to make a note of that to recall it in timely. Same way, this understanding the tables and the T codes are something like formulas in SAP. You must know. Now, next comes with master data. The sixth one is master data. See, whenever you are going to purchase, from whom you are going to purchase the product? From the shopkeeper. And whose information we are going to store? The shopkeeper. Nowadays, it is happening? Suppose, of course, near to society, one of the shop is there, provision shop. Now you are visiting that provision shop randomly or dynamically daily, you can say. Of course, you are going to save his contact number so that in future, if you need something, you're going to call him and you're going to ask him to deliver, please deliver the goods to my home. So he can do it. Means you are saving the information of your vendor. Now, for example, if you are purchasing something from the Amazon, maybe Amazon is a shopkeeper for you. He's something like a shop only. And you will be the customer for that Amazon. Now, before we maintain any business on the Amazon, what Amazon will ask you? Please do the registration. First, you need to sign in, then you can do the activity. Same way, in our SAP system also, we are going to register the vendor, we are going to register the customer. So that is a part of master data. So very first, we are going to register the supplier or the vendor. Of course, we are the customer for that shopkeeper and we are going to maintain the shopkeeper information. That is a part of vendor master data. And if you want to create the vendor in SAP, SAP has provided the transaction code for that. XK01 02 03. Create, change, and the display. Tables are, see, SAP has designed the system very systematically. Now, whenever we process the data in SAP, it never stores the data in any of the single table. Instead, the data will be stored in different table very systematically. Now, if I ask about the, like suppose whenever we process the data, like for example, if I are registering ourselves in the Amazon never going to store the data in any of the single table. The data will be stored very separately and systematically. Like your name, city, postal street, your mobile number, email ID will be stored separately. Your address will be stored separately. Then whatever the order you are purchasing, whatever the things you are purchasing from the Amazon, that history will be stored separately. Whatever the payment you are doing against each order, that history will be stored separately. Now, whenever we pass any banking information for the first time, like card detail, UPI detail, then some net banking details, system will ask you for the save. Do you want to save this for the future reference? If you save, that data will be stored separately. He never mix up all the data. Separate. Same way. Whenever we process this data, the data will be stored separately. Like all the master information, like all your personal information will go to the table called LFA1. That is a part of vendor master data. And whatever the banking information you are registering, that data will be stored in LFBK. That's a part vendor plus bank data. Now, whatever the transaction he is doing against each banking information, that will be stored in LFC1. This is a 1. Okay, don't confuse. 1. This is numeric 1. This is also numeric 1. Okay, this is vendor plus transaction data. Then comes with LF M1. This is vendor plus purchasing data, purchasing organization data. Then comes with LF B1, vendor plus company code data. So on. We do have many, just I'm giving few for only example. Now if you look at all this table, these tables are holding the primary and the foreign key relationship. Now in all these about table, the LIFNAR is a key field. It means in the LFA1, the LIFNAR is a primary key. In rest of the table, LIFNAR is a foreign key. Similarly, material master data. So if you are running your business, suppose I want to start my own new business. In that case, nowadays, everything is like electronics. Even normal selling the tea, they are generating the proper bill, because now we are coming with the GST concept. You need to have the proper record for the government. Then everything is computerized. So you need to register yourself in the system, like what product you are being sold from your shop. Then you are going to register everything in a system. Nowadays, if you go ask something for that shopkeeper, he's not going to check the stock physically. Instead, he is checking the stock in a system itself. So you need to register the product yourself in the system. That is a part of material master data. So again, to register the material master in your system, SAP has provided the application, and to run the application, the transaction code is MM01 to register the material or create the material. 02 is to change, and 03 is for display. This is the create, change, and the display. Once it is created, it will be stored in a table like Mara. It is going to have all the master details. Then material description, only for the description SAP has provided the separate table MAKT. This is a table only just to save the material description. Now you can ask me, only for the description SAP has provided the separate table? Yes. Why? Because see, SAP is going to support globally, and each country will be having their own language to communicate. Like in India, we can go with we do have many regional language: Hindi, Marathi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, English, right? I want to maintain the description in all language. Then do you think everything is going to be? I told you that we are not going to jumbling the things. We are going to organize properly. Same way, only for the description to maintain in a different language, SAP has provided the separate table. I can say material description. Now suppose if you are selling any of the product, that product will be like unit of measurement is different. So like in India, maybe we are calling it as in kg, maybe in UK this is in pound, maybe in the USA it is a lbs. We do have the different measurement. So for that measurement, SAP has provided the separate table called MARM, unit of measure for material. If you want to store the different unit for that product, then that will be stored in a table called MARM. Next comes with MBEW. That is a part of material valuation data. Like every product will be having the current price, previous price, and the future price. For example, your petrol, that will be changed dynamically on daily basis. Yesterday it was something different, today it's something different, tomorrow might be something different. That all data will be stored in valuation table, MBEW. Then comes with MAST. That's a part of material BOM data, nothing but bills of material. What is the meaning of bills of material? Let's take a pen. Let's take an example of pen. Pen is itself a product. But what is the pricing of pen? 10 rupees. Or let's take an example of tea. What is the pricing of tea of 1 cup of tea if you go with the outside? 10 rupees. Now you can ask me how you have decided as a 10 rupees. Now they will say that whatever the set of quantity milk which we have used, then sugar which we have used the tea powder, we have used the gas flame, then we have used the employee like manforce, the efforts to prepare that tea. We are serving the tea. Including all these charges, we are making a final price as 10 rupees. Now, how much quantity of milk has been used? How much quantity of tea powder has been used? How much quantity of your sugar has been used? How much quantity of gas has been utilized? And how much quantity of efforts you have added? That individual is nothing but the bills of each raw material to make a final product. Bills of each raw material that we can see the raw, the tea. See, your milk, your tea powder, your sugar, this considered as the raw material to prepare the main product called tea. Now, how much quantity of milk has been used? The pricing of that. How much quantity of sugar has been used? Pricing. Quantity of tea powder? Pricing. Quantity of utilization of your gas? Pricing. And your efforts? Pricing. So overall, all it becoming a tea, and that is a final price. That information will be stored in a MAST. Now, if I want to see in which plant you are manufacturing which product, if you want to see, that is a part of MARC. Plant data for material. So on. We do have many table. I'm just taking few only for your understanding. Now all this table, Mattner is key fill. Specifically in Mara, Mattner is key fill, and rest of the table, Mattner is a foreign key. In Mara, the Mattner is key fill. Similarly, in LFA 1, Lifner is a key fill. In rest table, Lifner is a foreign key.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now suppose if I want to create the purchase requisition, SAP has provided the application, and to run that application, this is the transaction code ME51N. Any transaction which is ending with N, that will be called as enjoy transaction or new transaction. Any transaction which is ending with N, that will be called as enjoy or new transaction. Okay. Can you see here? This is for creating the purchase requisition. Here we need to list on all the items, whatever the item you're purchasing, the material, how much quantity you need, when you're expecting the delivery date, so on. Who is requesting? Your mom. Likewise. Once you create it, suppose later you realize that, oh, I missed one of the line item. Let's add it. It doesn't mean that you're going to create the different purchase. If you can create it, but otherwise we can change in the existing. Going with ME52N. You can add any line item, you can delete any line item. Can you see? This is for change the purchase requisition. And after that, we do have 53. Sorry, 53 for display. Can you see? Display the purchase requisition. Suppose if you want to preview or review, then you can display. Next comes with request for quotation. The transaction code is ME41. Okay, this is C. Creating RFQ, request for quotation. Then ME42. This is for changing. If you're after developing, if you want to make any changes, you can go with change RFQ. Next, ME43. This is for to preview display. Next comes with ME21N to create the purchase order. Can you see? This is for creating the order. I'm sure what I needed, so I'm finalizing the order. ME22N. This is for change. Okay. This is for change. This is for change. Similarly, you do have for the display as well. ME23N. See, this is for display. Change and the display almost screen looks same only. Next comes with Migo, that is for doing the goods receive. Like I have successfully received the goods. That is a part of Migo. Against purchase order, you are going to receive the goods. Similarly, you are going to issue. Receive and the issue, these are the two different things. Receive against the purchase order, issue against the sales order. Means handing over it to the someone else, that is a part of issuing the goods. I'm giving back to you, that is a part of issue. If I'm receiving from you, that is a part of goods receive. So this receive will be against the purchase order. Then finally comes with Myro. This is for invoice. See, the delivery boy hand over the goods to you and you have selected as a COD. Then you need to make a payment after the after verifying you need to make a payment, right? That will be done against the Myro. Myro. Now, of course, whatever the data you are processing, I want to say where it is getting stored. Of course, SAP has provided the table for that. And before that, to create the vendor, the transaction code is XK01. Can you see? This is to create the vendor. After creating the vendor, you can do the change also XK02. And you can display also XK03. Similarly, to create the material MM01, to change MM02, to display MM03, right? And if you want to see the table, go to S11. I can go with KNA1. So first I will show you with the EBEN for the purchase requisition. Go with the display. See, this table hold all purchase requisition. Suppose if you create any purchase requisition, like whenever you are writing the multiple row, you are going to provide the numbering 1, 2, 3, same. So that numbering in SAP we can call as the item number. Okay. So what product you want to purchase, what should be the quantity for that, everything will be there in this table. Okay. So this is the delivery date. We do have the quantity also. Can you see? These are the field in the left hand side. These are the field name and the short description. Of course, it is a German oriented. Everything will be in the German. You need to be familiar. So nothing to worry. Functional will provide. Suppose if you're receiving any requirement in the format of FS, they will provide everything in detail. What table you need to use, what should be the selection screen, what should be the output field, how to build the logic, so on. Okay. Next comes with the purchase request for quotation. The header table is EKQ for request for quotation and the purchase order. For both, header table is EKQ. See, this is a purchasing document header. And for the quotation, nothing but once after requesting the quotation, you do have the quotation number also. Can you see? Quotation number. And this is the quotation submission date. Item data will be stored in a table called EKPO. I will come to the point. What is the meaning of header and the item? Okay, this is the item table. So we're done with the request for quotation and the purchase order. Similarly, for the Migo MKPF, this is a material document header. Can you see? Whenever you perform the goods receive, the information will be stored in this table. And the MSEG, this is the item table. Okay. Similarly, if I do the invoice verification, the table is RBKP, invoice document header, and the RSEG, invoice document item. Done. Now, I'm talking about the LF1. So LF, I will provide the star. SAP has provided one of the unique feature for you. Now suppose I am searching for any object, maybe table, maybe structure, maybe program or something. I'm not able to recall the complete name. I can able to recall some characters from the middle. Now whatever the character you are recalling, just provide the star in between and provide the F4. You will get the complete list of the object which is started with LF ending with something else. Like can you see here? LFA1 that is going to store the vendor master data. Next LFB1 that is going to store the vendor master data at the company code level. Then we have discussed with LFBK which is going to store the bank details. Then LFC1 this is going to store your transaction data. Then we discussed about the LFM1 as well. Now if I scroll down, LF can you see purchasing data. Okay, so if I go with LFA1 vendor master data, and there are many fields, around 151 fields are there. Okay, now similarly if I go with the MA, or I can say Mara, so Mara is going to hold your material master data. Similarly MAKT is going to hold your material description. Similarly MBW is going to hold your material valuation data. Similarly if I go with MAST, it's going to hold your material BOM, BOM, bills of material. Then if I go with MARM, it's going to hold unit of measure. Okay. Next comes with MARC, the plant data for material, in which plant, which product you are manufacturing. So on. We do have many tables. I have taken only just for your understanding. Here I have written as a header data and the item data. Do you observe over here? Written header and the item data. Now you can ask me what is the meaning of header. See, whenever we process the data in SAP system, the data will be stored in three hierarchy level, hierarchy wise. If you are working for any organization, you will be associated. After that, you are promoting, will become the software engineer. Then after that, senior, then team lead, then associate manager, manager, senior manager, DU lead, MD, COO, then CEO. These are the hierarchy level. Same way, whenever we process the data in SAP system, the data will be stored in three layers. That is a part of table wise data. So in SAP, the data will be stored in three layers. Very first with master data, header data, and the item data. Master means what? See, whenever you are going to deal with the business, suppose I want to deal with the Amazon. If I want to deal with the Prime, nowadays Prime Video, Netflix, do you think they will going to allow you directly? They will ask you for the sign up. They will ask you for the take a subscription. Then you can access. Similarly, nowadays you can go anywhere. Very first things what they will ask, please do the registration. Doing your registration yourself in that respective like business, in that respective business process, that is a part of master data. Okay, so here if I take the master, I'm taking a scenario of purchase, let's assume. Okay, in terms of purchase, actually the things which I'm discussing, it will be applicable to each business process. Maybe purchase requisition, purchase order, request for quotation, goods issue, invoice verification. Maybe in the future, whatever the business flow we are discussing, it will be applicable for all. I'm taking one of the scenario related to the purchase. Now if I go with the master table or master data, here I will take a master table as LFA1 vendor master data. So in the like in the LFA1 we do have many fields. I'm not taking all the fields, I'm taking only few for the example. Like in that, I do have the field called Lifnar. The Lifnar stands for vendor number. Then the land one, this is a land one, that is a part of country. Then comes with name one, that's a part of. Then comes with ORT01, PSTLZ, that is a part of postal code. Then STRAS, that is a part of street, so on. Maybe there are more than 100 fields. I have just shown you there are 151 fields are there in this table. But I'm taking just few for example. And here in this table, Lifnar is a primary key. Now, whenever you purchase anything, let's take example, like you do have the two-wheeler or the four-wheeler, you go for the riding. Not unnecessary, maybe you're traveling to office, maybe you're traveling to any other city, something. But whenever you're running on the public road, you do have some rules and the regulation. They should not, every road will be having the speed limit. There will be signals. You should not jump the signal. You should not do the rash driving. There are many things, right? And nowadays, earlier there will be a physically, the police will be used to be there. But nowadays we do have the AI cameras. Everything will be captured. That if you do anything wrong, the next day morning you will get the notice to your home, like saying that you have jumped the signal, you were at the overspeed, you are at the zebra cross, many things will be there. Then how that notice is coming to you only? Because that vehicle is been registered in your name, they will scan the your vehicle number, that will go to the RTO website. In the RTO website, they will get to know that against whom this vehicle has been registered, what's his name, what's his mobile number, what's his email address, and what's his home address. So they will generate the notice. Either it will comes to you in the as a SMS via email, or maybe directly to your home. And suddenly you get to know that, oh, there is a notice on my name. When you open that document, the information about that document is nothing but the header data. So whatever the document you're holding in your hand, the information about that document is nothing but the header data. Maybe that document is a notice related to your challan, traffic challan. Now here I'm taking the example of purchase order. Now what now in that document what information will be there? What is the challan number? What is the challan number? The challan number is nothing but, so here I'm taking the example of purchase order number. So EBELN is a part of purchase document number. Next, you will get to know that date on which the document has been generated. That's a part of document date. Then comes with your payment. There will be payment, how much amount you need to pay as a charges, and what should be the payment mode. So here also we do have the payment mode, Z term. Then comes with bookers, from which organization or through which you have received this challenge. That is a part of bookers, nothing but the company code. If you are purchasing something from whom you have purchased, that is a part of company code. Now when you are making a payment, suppose the payment mode you have taken as a cash on delivery, within how many days you need to make a payment, that is a part of ZBD1T, payment in days. Okay, and here again Lifnar is a part of vendor number. Now here if you look at, in first table, Lifnar is a primary key. Now here in this table, listener is a foreign key. See, whenever you purchase a vehicle, you are going to do registration of your vehicle in your name in the RTO office. That registering your vehicle in the RTO office is a part of master data. You are going to provide your name, the city which you are staying, area location, the detail, your mobile number, everything with the address proof. Your vehicle has been registered. Now, whatever the false activity you are doing in the future, you will get the notice on your name. If that vehicle, suppose your friend of or family member had taken the vehicle and he has done something wrong, but still the notice will come to in your name because the vehicle has been registered in your name. Like if you purchase something and you receive that document, you want to know about that document. What is the document? What is the document number? What is the date of the document? Against whom this document has been generated, right? So that is a part of header data. Like you have received the challan. Now you just curious what this document. You just open the document. The heading is like Pune Traffic Police or the Maharashtra Traffic Police. Oh, it's a challan. Then you'll get to know that what is the challan amount and what is the date, on which date it has been generated, what is the payment mode, in how many days I need to make a payment, against whom this challan has been generated, so on. But you are just curious what I have done wrong. Why did I receive this challan? That is a part of item information. Like if you are purchasing something, so the detail about the document is nothing but the header data, nothing but your document number, purchase order number, date on which it has been generated, what is the payment mode, who has generated it, against whom it is has been generated, so on. But what item you have purchased, that will be the part of item data. Purchase, document, item. Okay. So here EBE LP, nothing but the item number, nothing but the serial number. Suppose you have done the two traffic violation. Serial number 1. What is the violation? So here there is a violation number. What you have done wrong. That is a part of material number. Like suppose you have ordered something in the Amazon, Flipkart, you are placing the order for the multiple items. Suppose I have placed the order for 3 items. Does it mean 3 different order is going to be generated? No. Order will be one. Against that you do have 3 line items. Item number 1, product number, and the product description. Then comes with quantity which you are purchasing. Then unit of measure. What is the unit of that product? What is the net price? Suppose you have placed a order for 3 product and one of the product quantity you have make it is 5. So menge will be 5. So menge will be 5. Now what is the price of each product? That is a part of unit price. Suppose you have placed an order for the pen and each price is 10 rupees and you have purchased the 5, then what is the total price? That is a part of 15 rupees. 50 rupees. And here now here if you look at, this is your primary key. So always keep in mind, the item data is always created based on the header and the header data is always created based on the master. Item data is always created based on the header and the header data is always created based on the master. So this is the chain. And this is the example I have taken for the purchase order, but this concept is applicable to each line item. Now let me take a real-time example. Whenever you purchase something from the Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, sometimes you go to the Pizza Hut, you can go to the shopping complex. Always there will be a document for you. Sometimes you will get via email, sometimes you can get as a hard copy. Now if I want you to show a real-time example, one of the real-time, so this is one of the document. This is a Flipkart invoice copy. I have purchased something long back in 2015 something. Now this is a document. Suddenly I have handed over you the document number. You're just curious, what is this letter? The detail about the document which you have received, that is a header data. Now first you are curious what this document. So this document is a part of invoice. You have purchased something, against that they have provided the receipt to you. What is the amount? 1310. What is the payment mode? Cash on delivery. Against whom this document has been generated? Shipping address, billing address. The things I'm discussing, that is a part of header data. Every document contains all three data: header, master, and the item. So very first thing, the detail about the document. What is document stand for? What is the amount? What is the payment mode? Who has generated? Sold by. Against whom it has been generated? Shipping address, billing address. What is the document number? Can you see? Invoice number. The date on which this document has been generated. This is your header data. Now you're curious against whom this has been generated. This is a master data. This is a person name against whom this document has been generated. His name, first name, middle name, last name, the area which he is located, the mobile number, then email ID, everything in detail. Now he just curious, you have received the bill of 1310. What item he or she has purchased? This is the item details. The product name, sorry, the product number and the product name, right? Then the product description, how much quantity you have purchased, what is the net price, what is the tax on that, and what is the total amount. So this net price is nothing but the net per including tax. What is the total amount? That's a part of net worth. So every document contains three data: master, header, and the item. And this is applicable to all the, like, maybe it is a purchase order, maybe it is an invoice, maybe it is everything. So you need to be familiar. So item data always created based on the header, and the header created based on the master. You don't get the direct reference of master and the item. No, you take a mutual. Sometimes you do have the mutual friends. Likewise, nothing to worry. Slowly we will go in future one by one. You will get the complete idea.